think he's going. Oh, you're all right. Never mind. I'll talk to you later.
Just waiting for the video to. Slow internet.
What's going on?
All right, that was a quick intro on my end. Oh, never mind.
Subscribe to Daddy. What else? Thanks.
So, welcome to the John LaJoy's podcast. Yes, if you can't tell, the name did change. The my icon has changed. Here, let me show you guys the new icon that I did design. Right there. That's the brand new look for my podcast now. And so my name is going to be Mad Dog John LaJoy 9994 because I decided to change it. The Mad Dog is from when I played high school. That was our nickname. So let's start with David. David, how did you feel about the 49ers loss?
Pissed off. Bad playing calls by the coach, and it was a good game though. It was a good game. The referees did a hell of a job. They did good. Yeah, man.
All right, Carcass, how did you feel about the game?
It is what it is. We lost. I mean, shout out to the Chiefs. They came to play. Brock Purdy's still young. We still got a long way to go. I mean, making it to the Super Bowl in your second year it's a big deal. I know we lost, but it's a learning experience. You could tell the players were down in the locker room. very quiet. You know, we don't even know if guys are gonna. We don't even know if this team's gonna. We don't know if Trent Williams is coming back. I mean, we're gonna have to look in. There's gonna be a lot of moving pieces. You know, to keep it simple. But you know, hey, if you want to look on the positive side, it was a really good game. One of the better Super Bowls I've seen. Going into overtime, came down to the wire, man. And shout out to the defense, man. Just they played their asses off for sure. They they, they made Patrick Mahomes look. They made Patrick Mahomes do do pat do stuff that you don't necessarily see Mahomes do. You saw him get sacked a couple of times. I mean, Steve Wilkes definitely had a game plan, and you know, there were instances where our offense should have put 7 on the board. But our defense, they had their takeaways, man. Our offense couldn't capitalize. Coaching was a big reason. I mean, I went and watched a couple clips. Our offensive line had miscommunication, sequences where guys weren't on the same page. I mean, I don't want to come on here and crap Kyle Shanahan. It's a whole football is the ultimate team sport. You know, it requires all 53 players on that given day, and guys didn't step up when needed. I mean, our defense they let down when we needed them the most. I mean, it is what it is, man. It's life. You have to move on. Next year, we'll see what happens next year, but it's crazy because I feel like I've been saying that for the past couple of 5-6 years, right? Oh, we'll get him next year. We'll get him next year. And just we can't get over the hump. But hey, you got to keep the faith. It is what it is. But yeah, that's just my thoughts, man. I'm over it, but it still stings. Still kind of leaves a sour taste in your mouth, you know.
Oh yeah.
But for me, I say every year we're going to Super Bowl. Every year.
That's the same thing that Dallas says. And basically,
no, but we get there. They don't.
True. Yeah, we do.
I don't want to get there. I want to win it, man. I want to win.
Oh yeah.
I don't want no participation trophy just being there. I want to win. I want to win. You do all that hard work, and you get to the biggest game of the year, and you just
lose.
It doesn't sit right, you know. So
it's a bad taste in the mouth.
Do you see the Super Bowl logo next year? It's green and yellow.
Yep.
Definitely not the Eagles, though.
That is definitely Mardi Gras colors too, because it's in basically the Saints Stadium for next year.
Right.
And basically my feelings about the game, we did lose 2 key players. That sort of was a bad taste in my mouth. Greenlaw with the ACL tear just was hopping and running on the field, and John Feliciano was his arm that he does all that blocking with. So there was a lot of good plays, definitely with the defense. We were definitely keeping Mahomes on the ground most of the time. There was a few defensive plays. I think that Seawells could have made readjustments quicker, or the players messed up on the calls. And it was just definitely a lot of miscommunications that I could see, especially with our 2 guards that when we could have got into that touchdown, when Burford and Banks sort of collided together, that was a mess up. Definitely miscommunication with the players. That's definitely players' issues. It could have been Burford wasn't used to that play because John Feliciano was doing that job, everything. So it's just, it is what it is. What happened is in the past now. Now we can move on and talk about good stuff again. Basically, who we're going to be able to keep, and that type of stuff. So, Carcast, what did you think about losing Greenlaw?
It's a mess. Well, first and foremost, I believe the guys behind him, like Oren Burks and Demetrius Flanagan Fowles, could step up and make plays, which they did. You saw them
Yes.
flying out there. You saw them flying. You saw them hitting. You saw them making plays. I think they brought the energy, but it's always tough losing a guy like Dre Greenlaw because him paired with a guy like Fred Warner, who's an All-Pro, Pro Bowler. I mean, he's the best middle linebacker in the NFL. And when you pair those together, man, it reminds me. I'm not saying they're at the level of Willis and Bowman, but that's what they remind me of, man. And I know I didn't get to watch much of Willis and Bowman back. I know you and I think David got to watch a lot of them.
Kind of those down. I know I did.
Because they play a much different style. Too. Yep, they play a much different style of football compared to guys like Warner and back in the day, football was like it was more of a downhill. You run and hit kind of like guys. Like Fred is a smaller linebacker, but a lot more. He's really athletic. He can fly around. I mean, and it's not just the play on the field, man. It's just the energy that Greenlaw brings. I mean, dude's just so hyped up after every tackle. It kind of just juices up the defense a little bit, Kind of hypes them up a little. It kind of makes them a little bit more like motivated to play, motivated to show up. And seeing him get carted off, I don't know if you guys heard, but Fred Warner after the game, he said he went into halftime. He was in tears. He was crying at halftime, seeing Greenlaw in the locker room with crutches. And that's his guy right there, That's his guy right there.
His dog, his homie, yeah.
Ever since Quan Alexander left, Greenlaw's been that guy. He's been with Warner. It's tough, definitely. Bro, the way he just got hurt, man. You hate to see it. Just running off the sidelines.
You mean running onto the sidelines?
Running onto the field, but off the sidelines.
Yeah,
tough, man. You hate to see it. Not even as a Niner fan, as any fan, like that's just like.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it's tough. But it is what it is. Man.
Yep. And David,
he wasn't the only guy that went down.
Feliciano went down too.
Debo, Kittle. I don't know if Kittle got hurt. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Kittle.
Shoulder. It was his shoulder. It was more like a pinched nerve.
Jair Brown went down. Jair Brown went down. He got hit by Kelsey.
No, he did the hit. Brown did the hitting, but Kelsey
he did the hitting, and he did the hitting, and he got the most out of it. He got hurt, so that's what it is. But,
yeah, I think after Greenlaw got left, the defense changed. They were making the Chiefs making those plays, and then it just changed after that. The momentum switched around for the Chiefs.
Right.
So I think if we had them, I think we would have stopped them. Because Fred Warner would be on the other side and Greenlaw would be on the other side. So we won't know soon because he was off the field. So
yep,
just have to wait next year, I guess.
So all right, let me ask you guys, what did you guys feel when we lost John Feliciano?
David, you want to go first on this one?
I was a big guy too. It was his shoulder, no, or his arm.
It was his arm and his shoulder put together. Because somehow, I'm not 100% sure what happened, but they took him right out because he couldn't move something.
Yeah, I see. I kind of seen it a little bit, but it's like he couldn't move. He couldn't move it. It was like stuck. So it was a good thing they took him out, because if they left him in, there would have been no chance to block whoever he was blocking. So we'll see. He's a free agent next year, no?
Yes, he is. We will get into that after we finish this question. We'll go through everybody that's a free agent, guys that you guys might want to see coming back, and that type of stuff. So each person will talk about maybe seeing them back, or we want to see them go or something. So, Carcass, what did you think about John Feliciano going down?
It's tough. He's been a baller this entire year. We all know Trent Williams. He's a big silverback, but Feliciano's been that ever since he came from the Giants, man. He's came in and he's really stepped in and made a huge impact, man. He's definitely held his own, but his backup, I believe, was Spencer Burford. He came into the game and I believe he had a huge mistake on that play where Chris Jones got into the backfield and pressured Purdy. That would have sealed the game. The Niners would have won the Super Bowl, but it just shows you, man. Like I hate using injuries as an excuse. You know, I hate using injuries as an excuse, but they're a real thing, man. They are. When you lose guys when you lose your starting offensive lineman, and as well as Feliciano has played this, you hate to see it. And I know, John, you did play on the O line, but when you lose a guy, the offensive line doesn't look the same, man. They don't gel together. They don't have the same communication. The chemistry is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And Burford's been on the team
it's
for
off,
what?
Usually
3 something. He's been on. He knows the system, but
2 to 3 years. Yeah,
there's definitely going to be miscues. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reality of football, you know. But it's. I hope these guys heal up, man. We got 6 months off season. Shout out Bryant. What's up, Bryant?
Hey, Brian. And let's bring up the comment that Brian is bringing up about Jake Moody. Jake Moody is a legend right now. First year rookie. He did have his first block punt because the left side broke down hard because they came in very quick, very fast. So Jake Moody didn't have time to make that kick, and it was off.
No, I don't think it was Jake Moody's fault. I think it was the guy who was holding the ball because he was bobbing it a little bit.
Mitch Wishnowsky.
Yeah, he was bobbing it and he had the laces out. He didn't have the laces. No, the laces. He had the laces in.
See, yeah, David, the way that I saw it was the left side broke down easy because they had it overstacked too. So when you have more people on one side, how do you think most people will block for you?
Yeah, but the ball was kind of leading too, so he had to kick it straight through. So it was kind of low.
That does happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. What's up, Brian? How you doing this morning?
What up, Brian? Great show yesterday, man. Great show yesterday, Brian.
And there's people already making comments saying, get rid of Jake Moody, get rid of Jake Moody. Those are the people I say are trolls and they don't know nothing. Jake Moody did a great job in the game. There was a few mess ups on everybody's part, but it's not where you want to get rid of that person or find a new replacement. Jake Moody is doing a great job. There's a few veterans I could see going to better pasture.
It was too many injuries too. A lot of key injuries. Like they didn't give the ball to Kittle that much. They only gave him one shot, but it was a flag. It came back, so he really didn't do nothing. And after the overtime, he went back to the locker room, but he came back in, but he was not in. He was not in on that fourth. So
he had the 3rd and 2 conversion that drove us down the field. Where I think I have a question for you guys, if you don't mind me asking. Jim.
Questions are fine with the panel.
Do you guys believe that Kyle Shanahan should have gone for on that 4th down instead of settling for the field goal with Moody? Because I know in Brock Purdy's press conference, he came out and said, we already had that play design, and that's where we're looking the entire way. I mean, because Jennings won on his route, but like I already brought up, the offensive line has some sort of miscommunication on the right side. But what's his name? You don't want to give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes with how much overtime left. I think it was like a minute 30, something like that. So do you guys believe that they should have just gave it a shot, just took the risk? Because who knows? I mean, it
I would went for it. Oh yeah, I would.
Because I get it, the defense is balling out, but at the same time, you don't want to give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense. Like
see, for somebody that doesn't bet like me, it's a pro and con. Even if, say, if their defense comes in on you and you're trying to block them, everything, or try to get a guy wide open, what if you had that non-shot to make that and you want to go for the field goal? So they played it safe. That's what you call a safe play. Because say, what if we didn't get into the touchdown? That's a what if question. It's just where they already had plays designed to try to do damage to them. It's just where they didn't think they could make that touchdown because the way that everything was happening, everything was going at them fast.
If we got that field goal, what if we got a pick on defense? Would the game have ended?
Yes.
Any kind of turnover, the game would have ended, right?
Yep.
I think we should give the ball to the Chiefs first in overtime. Because I didn't know the both teams will get the ball no matter what, touchdown or whatever. Both teams will get the ball. It doesn't matter.
We should have we had it. We could have won. It's the offensive line just screwed up. Like we had it.
I know, but if we scored a touchdown, they get the ball back. It doesn't matter.
But everything was going right for us. We drove down the field. Jennings got open. That's where Purdy was looking. It just freaking our offensive line's an issue. It's a serious issue. We didn't draft a single offensive lineman last year.
We did get two people from the undrafted market. So
undrafted, we didn't draft anyone though.
I know that there's a few coming out in the draft, and that type of stuff.
There's a dude from Oklahoma.
Yeah. Oklahoma, Oregon Ducks, the Washington Huskies. There's a guy there, but are we going to get a shot at him? The only way that we're going to get him is if we trade up, or other teams don't like how he fits.
Oh my God, that's crazy! I just got Brandon Ayuk's brother is posting on. I think I showed David Corona, but Brandon Ayuk's brother and Brandon Ayuk is unhappy with the Niners right now, and Brandon Ayuk's brother is posting Instagram stories that he's saying this is the exact reason why we're leaving San Francisco. Brandon Ayuk to Vegas, and then he said, "This is what your 1,300-yard wide receiver does in the Super Bowl, 3 catches." Oh my God! They're saying he might go to Vegas.
He's not going to the Raiders.
You seen that though? Brandon Ayuk's unhappy with the Niners right now.
Do I think that Brandon Ayuk could be traded? That's a questionable card. It's just going to be up to them how they feel. If they want to leave, then they leave. There is new talent coming up for wide receivers. I know that they're looking at a few new guys for wide receivers. A couple of them are basically legend kids from their parents. We do got Brandon Rice coming out in the draft, and we have Logan McCaffrey coming out in the draft.
I don't know if he's unhappy, but I know his brother.
You see that, John?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm going to check it now.
Hey, Brian, I got a question for you. How your whole family feel after we lost? I know. I was pissed off. You guys probably been the same way. You had a question, Brian?
Give me a second. Brian wants to hop on.
Oh, okay.
That's what he was asking about.
I'll ask him right now then.
Let me send him the link. I did not know he was free today, or I would have sent him the link already.
Freezing outside. Holy crap.
And it's snowing for you.
That's why I had no school today. I'm happy as hell.
Brian,
So when it snows, you guys don't get no school? Or what?
No, but it's like really bad, like really deep. It's not like some small amount of snow. It's like
That's crazy.
It's like 20 feet.
So it's blocking the door. You guys can't get out.
Yeah.
And buses won't run either.
No, I'm joking. It's not 20 feet. I'm joking. I'm messing.
You would have been buried with no power, too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to hop on the stream.
Mm-hmm. So right now we're waiting for Brian to put. Speaking of BC, here's BC. Welcome to the stage, Brian.
Happy Kicker Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, what's up, Brian?
What up? I'll be right back.
So, Brian, what did you think about when Jake Moody's punt got blocked?
Well, he's not the punter. So the PAT, when it got tipped or blocked, that wasn't fun. I got to go back and watch it. A couple people are saying he kicked it a little bit higher off of his foot. Some people are saying he kicked it with his ankle. That's not good.
Now, when you watch it, the punter bobbled the ball. So when he bobbled the ball was down. So he had to kick it straight through. So that why it was low.
I will go. I have the all 22, so I'll go back and rewatch it. It's been a little bit. I haven't really wanted to go and watch anything of that.
Yeah, don't blame you.
But I'll go back and rewatch that. So Mitch Wisnowski, the punter, who was the holder at that time, you're saying had the laces in and he bobbled the snap. So
yep.
Even if he made a mistake, it's okay. That extra point didn't cost us the game. That was what I've been saying for a lot of anybody who wants to listen. The Chiefs still went down. They had to kick the field goal to tie. If we would have had that extra point, they wouldn't have tied. They wouldn't have went for the field goal. They would have went for a touchdown. Then where would we be at? So,
and Brian, when that punt got blocked, watch the left-hand side too. Guys were definitely overmatched and overstacked too, because I could see the line was already screwed before that kick went off.
Yeah, when that point after try, that field goal attempt, when that got blocked, the left side, I believe it was, just totally collapsed. They didn't block very well at all. And you can't put that on the long snapper and the kicker and the holder at that point, because the guys aren't giving you enough time. But if you guys watch the game later, when Butker hits the field goal kicker for the Chiefs, we almost got our fingers on it. It was really close.
We did.
That close. So,
all right, let me ask you guys this. Do you remember when Patrick Mahomes ran out like 2 yards past the scrimmage and ran outwards and then went past and they changed the downs? It's supposed to be 2nd and 7. It got switched to 1st and 10.
Somebody said that, and I didn't go back and watch it or really take too much into it. So I believe somebody also had alluded to that and said that they stole or they were gifted a down.
Yes, they were, because it's been on Facebook, it's been on Twitter. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't see it myself. I didn't see that. Rewatch it. I was like, oh dang.
I didn't like some of the grabs. I'm not saying that they didn't call a good game or anything like that, but there was some times where it looked like they locked up our wide receivers' arms, and the wide receivers were calling for it. But I guess that's what you're supposed to do with, you don't make it anyways. But I don't know. It just.
I think they did. I think they did better this game instead of 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a play, I believe, on that. They got a field goal on us. They shouldn't have gotten that 3, but Tashawn Gibson slowed down on a third down, and he had it was right in his vision. He could have gotten a pick.
Yeah,
It was underthrown too, but he just slowed down for whatever the reason. He just stopped running. He had an easy pick. And
that was the big pass. That was the big pass that Patrick Mahomes had thrown. That was like his biggest pass of the game, and they got him down there in field goal range. We slowed up, and we tightened up, I guess. But yes, you're right, because the announcer said it too. Like if he would have just kept running, if he would have just kept running, but he thought, oh, maybe this play's going on too long or something. That's what it's like. Go back to fundamentals. Don't stop. Just keep playing the game.
No, I think he lost the ball was at, because when he turned it around, the ball was coming in the middle of two players, and that's when the who was it, Gibson, turned around, and that when the Chiefs guy caught the ball.
He came back. It was pretty. It was not good, but
So Brian, how's your whole family thought about it when the Chiefs got that last touchdown?
It was over. It was over. I had a house full of people over, and everyone was rooting for the Niners. We even had a Raider fan who was rooting for the Niners. Like we knew it. When it was overtime, nobody was saying, like win or lose. Everybody was like, "Come on, we got a chance. We got a chance." And it just. That 4th and 1 play where he scrambled and got like 15 yards, that one was a backbreaker. Just, I don't know. This sucks.
What's up, McNiner?
Hi, David. Number 2, McNiner.
Yeah.
Apparently, that Chiefs player who caught the touchdown didn't even know that they won the Super Bowl because of the new overtime rules. That's funny. But all this stuff about, we didn't know the new overtime rules that Kyle Huschey's coming out and saying, Eric Armstead, because I believe they said that if I forget what they said, but
the Chiefs, Chris Jones said if they would have got the ball, we scored a touchdown. They would have got the ball.
Look how pretty this one is.
And they will be going for 2 to win the game if we scored a touchdown in the overtime.
We had no excuses. We had 2 weeks to prepare for this. Even I want to believe one of the Chiefs players came out and said, "You guys should have. We already studied this. We prepared for this. Like we had 2 weeks, and it's just BS, man.
So there's like 2 reports coming out about that. The Chiefs have been, on this since the beginning of their season, back in training camp. They were practicing for this exact moment. Then the 2-week thing had also popped up. You should know about this. Now, as far as the rules changing, the rules haven't really changed. When it's been the playoffs, a couple years ago, they made the exception and they made the rules to change. But it's the Super Bowl. You should know you're going to get the ball back. And the whole mentality of just like what you just said, David, if the Chiefs get the ball second, they have to go down and score a touchdown. If we had scored a touchdown, then they have to go for 2. That's their mentality. They're going to go for 2 to win the game. They're not going to go into a final overtime. So for us to go down and give up on, we didn't give up on it. Our 4th down play, our 3rd down play right there, the line wasn't blocking. Purdy had pressure in his face. Ayuk was open. Jennings was open. There was too many people that was open, but we couldn't get the ball out fast enough. That's the end of our season. Jake Moody comes in and puts 3 points up, but now they know all they have to do is go down and score a touchdown. One pass in the end zone, and they're winning it. And that's what they did.
I don't know. Maybe Kyle thought the defense was balling out. They could have gotten a turnovers. Pacheco almost fumbled on that play. There was a play where Warner got the tackle. Pacheco almost lost the ball.
Yeah, I don't say it was a bad decision, but that's why everybody's saying, "Oh, well, you should have taken the ball second because then you would have went down." Okay, so what happens if we would have taken it second and then the Niners don't go down and score, and you do the same thing what you were just saying, Carcass, like the Niners go down instead of Pacheco fumbling it with CMC, then the game's over. At least we went down, we put points up on the board. We give it to our defense to make the stop. And they would have made the stop if it wouldn't have been for that 4th and 1 play. We have to get away from the wide 9, guys.
Both lost contained. He rushed way too far upfield and just wide open lane to the right side. Jeez.
So let me ask you guys this question. Do you think both of the the defensive head coach and the offensive coach had a great scheme, or was there a couple plays that you could see that they could have ran a different play? Let's start with Brian.
Well, obviously, you got the commentators, and they're saying what their opinions are. So that's gonna really sway anybody who was watching the game at that moment, because they're saying it right there live, and you're now getting, if you want to say, brainwashed to say, yeah, they should have done a different play here or there. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I don't understand, and I said this earlier on Terradom's channel, if you're going to pass the ball, why aren't you faking the run? Or why aren't you giving them some kind of hesitation or some kind of thoughts like, hey, we got a guy back here in the backfield. But when you show you're in shotgun formation and you don't even have anybody standing next to you to block or even to, scoot out, scramble. They could have dumped the ball out to Christian on the sideline right there. Like there's so many. So for me to see us dominate the way we did in the first and second quarter, we fumbled. We should have been probably up 17 points. To be honest, we should have been. But for them to go down the way they did, and then us to come out in the third quarter and not run the ball and go 3 and out. I don't know, guys. Special teams had that big fumble, but it wasn't really a big fumble. It was hit on his ankle, and then Ray's doing what he's supposed to do and call out the play, and right then he's panicking. You can't blame the guy. Maybe he's not panicking. Yep. Everybody's saying, "Oh, just get on the ball," but he's calling out, "Hey, alert!" Or whatever he's saying. Mm-hmm. But he didn't get the fumble. If we would have got the fumble, even if we would have had a punt, that would have been pushing them back all the way back, maybe 20, to the 25 or the 30, and then they would have drive. That wouldn't have been a quick touchdown for them. The difference, I think the difference was that turnover in the game, because it gave them the ability to score.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh. And Carcass, it's your turn about the same question.
About the
about the coaches, if they did a good job, or basically how you feel about it.
Start off with the defensive side. I know we lost, but that's a good bright spot to look at. I mean, I think Wilkes definitely had the game plan. We contained Mahomes, we contained Pacheco, we contained the run game. Pacheco, I believe, only rushed for 3.3 yards per carry. We shut them down. But when it mattered most, Mahomes, Kelsey, they drew it up, they connected. But I believe 3 guys on that defensive line had sacks. Chase Young, Eric Armstead was another one I forget. I know, Bosa. But
Bosa, and I think Hargrave got 1 or 2.
Hargrave didn't get nothing.
Hargrave didn't get one. Speaking of Bosa, he was in the backfield all day. That dude was but we
plugging up the holes.
Oh yeah, and definitely kept his contain on the outside. Didn't let Mahomes scramble when he got outside of the intentional grounding box, or like the when he got out of the pocket. But we did a great job. I mean, on offense, we got to capitalize, man.
If they can keep the mentality of this team together, if they didn't lose the locker room over this game, if they still believe in Kyle Shanahan, then this team will be back. No matter who we lose in free agency or who we retain or who we get, this team is that good. In the last 5 years, we've been this good. We will be even better next year. And it really is. It's sad that we lost this game, but we will be back next year as long as they keep their heads up. The Vegas betting right now is saying 49ers Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, let's go. Let's go.
And this time we get the home field jerseys.
I don't even. I mean, I know some people care about that, but I just wanted to finish it. I wanted to finish it. And this year we got really close, and now everybody's worried that the Chiefs will be better next year. Maybe they'll be worse. Maybe they'll have injuries. Maybe there's a point, that maybe they've lost their locker room because they went. But all season we'll hear three-peat for the Chiefs, and then they're going to bash the Niners and say Kyle Shanahan three-peat, because now they're going to say he's lost 3 Super Bowls.
I don't know, man. As long as they have Mahomes, as long as they have Kermit the Frog, I think they're favorite.
Well, he had it.
Their
He had
favorite.
he had an interview after the game, and he said, "We're not done yet. This is not over. This is just beginning. I'm going for that three-peat, what nobody has before. And our team's young. We're grinding, and we're gonna keep the same. We're gonna keep the same guys together, and run for this again. And Tom Brady never he went for three, but he lost. So hopefully that will happen. He tried to go for three and he lose.
Yep. But as long as they have him, they always got a chance, you know. So it's definitely gonna be a dogfight if that is the case. But to be fair, I mean the guy's fought. We don't know if Trent Williams is gonna be back next year. We're gonna have to draft.
Trent Williams coming back. He already said.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to plan for the future when he's gonna leave. We're gonna have to draft a rookie tackle, and there's a dude from Oklahoma I like. There's another dude from Alabama, I believe, but there's a couple of guys. I'm gonna have to do my draft research, but Gibson, we don't know if he's gonna be staying. I don't know if you guys saw, but Nick Bosa and the team went out for a dinner after the game because he was talking
Yeah, I
about.
heard Nick Bosa said that.
Because he was like, we don't know who's gonna be on the team. We're gonna have one final moment with these guys. Man, that shit was just so depressing after the game. You know, but it's life. Hey, we're upset. We're upset. Imagine how upset the players are right now.
Yeah. They're basically the ones that have to be on that field playing their butts off to try to come up with a victory.
We're just fans. Imagine players. Imagine Christian McCaffrey, first Super Bowl. Imagine Brandon Ayuk. Like those guys, you know? Like it's a whole different level, you know, but
And we should have done what we did to Kelsey the first two quarters. We hold him to 1 yard. He only had one catch for 1 yard.
why did we stop running the ball with Christian McCaffrey in the third quarter? Bullshit.
Because he was not going nowhere, so they put him in the receiving group, and he was getting the ball better like that.
But that's not our offense. We're a run first team, you know.
But he couldn't get nowhere. He only could get like 2 or 3 yards.
I know,
So
but
they used him in the receiving group, and he was getting more yards.
that makes it one dimensional, though. You know, that doesn't keep
Yeah,
the defense.
I see what you're coming from, but
Hey, game's over. You know.
Yeah.
You can say as much as you
Lamb
want.
chops fans laughing at us again.
Technically, well,
you
laughing
know who I'm
at
talking
them
about,
because they didn't
Carcas.
make it. I do too.
We got 5 Super Bowls. How much do they have? Let me know.
2.
Exactly.
But they said they could have been in 4 Super Bowls.
Hey, so that
Could have, would have, but they didn't.
Hey, we're tied with the Steelers, the Broncos, and the Cowboys for Super Bowl appearances now with 8.
Oh wow.
Yep. We're gonna have to get to that dynasty. We're gonna have to get to the Patriot level, man.
We got to play smart. We got to play hard. We got to get the right pieces on our team.
I think if we had Tom Brady for 1 year, I think we really will win that Super Bowl with Tom Brady 1 year.
Wait, John, how many Super Bowls, if you don't mind me asking, how many Super Bowls did you get to see of the Niners, like win?
4.
You saw 4 of them?
Uh-huh.
Oh hell yeah!
I saw 1.
The very first one was 1981, right when I was born, so I couldn't really watch that one.
Did you watch any of the blowouts? Whether it was Miami, Denver.
Yep.
Miami was what, what year? 85, right?
Yeah. That would have been the first game I would have been able to watch.
Yeah, man. It is what it is.
And I was still young.
Yep. It is what it is.
Who we have 19 free agents. Who do you guys want to see to come back?
I thought it was 22, but
no, 19. 19 free agents, but there's a few that's talking about being traded.
I would bring back Chase Young on a cheap deal, on
Mhm.
a cheap minimum contract. I mean, he stepped up. He's now gonna have a bye week with the. I mean, he didn't have a bye week ever since he came to the Niners from the Commanders. I think his first year with the Niners, I think working with Chris Kosar, who's one of the best defensive line coaches in the NFL, could definitely build his confidence up, keep him healthy, condition him the right way. I'd bring him back on a cheap,
Mhm.
Right now, he
another
wants
guy.
like 15 million. So I
Yeah.
don't know how cheap you can get him.
Yeah, no, but he wants the bag. He wants the bag.
Yeah.
That's true. But we'll see.
So right
So,
now, right now it says the 49ers have 21 players eligible for free agency.
Oh,
Damn.
21. Okay. There's a couple of guys I want back, but yep.
Seen Logan Ryan, he's gone.
Oh, don't even talk about that guy. Oh my God.
so Brian, if you want to go ahead and talk about all the free agent, because I have a different list. You probably have basically the current one. Why don't you go ahead and start talking about each one?
I don't have the list pulled up. I'm looking for the list right now.
Okay.
So if you want to read your list, then when I find my list, I'll pull it up.
I have the list. You want me to say, John? Or if you
Yeah,
want
go
me-
ahead. Go ahead.
All right, 1 second. It's just loading. 1 second. I have it just loading. 1 second.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about the two backup quarterbacks. Who wants to
Ready?
see
Okay.
Sam Darnold or Brandon Allen back on the team?
Sam Darnold.
I'm fine with Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold wants to try to get the starting quarterback position too for another team, so he may be gone.
I have it pulled up.
Go ahead, Carcass.
All right, Chase Young. You guys think we're gonna bring him back?
David?
If the money's right.
Brian, what about you? But what about your feelings about that one?
Only if he takes a very, very cheap, team-friendly deal. We're not giving him $15 million to jog half the plays.
Mm-hmm.
I think his limit is like 10, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, we got depth. Let's be honest. We got Charles Omenihu coming off the knee injury, but I don't know how much stronger he's gonna come back. I don't know how he's gonna come back from that. We also have what's his name? We also have what's his name? Robert Beal, the rookie, going into second year. We have him as well. I think we might bring Chase Young back. I don't know. We'll definitely see what happens over there. But Javon Kinlaw.
If he takes a felony contract, maybe, but if not, he's gone.
He's gone, yeah. John?
Brian?
Oh.
All right. My feeling about Kinlaw is we could find somebody that could be a little bit more better than he is. There was ups and downs with him. So basically, I'm like 50-50. Would like to keep him, but more than likely like a backup one, but not a starting round player. No. Brian,
what happened to Jake Jackson?
IR.
Oh man.
And I don't think he may be just getting traded.
Oh
yeah, I forgot we had Drake Jackson. Yeah, exactly. We have a lot of guys. But yeah.
Brian, what do you think about re-signing or letting Kinlaw go?
I'd let him go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I could see that too.
I would let him go. I would let Chase Young go. If they don't want to come for a cheap, friendly deal, they weren't the ones that made the noise. They weren't solid depth either. Depth. There were times that we wanted our backups back in. There were times that we wanted the guys from last season that we couldn't get it done with back. That we said we let too many people go because we signed Hargrave. Well, the amount of money that we let all these other guys go, we got one player for. And we didn't get what we want. And I know we're not talking about Hargrave. We're talking about Kinlaw, and we were talking about Chase Young. So I'd let both of them go. Let them both go.
And Hargrave didn't really do nothing for us. He only had like 3.5 sacks the whole season.
Yeah, I'd let him go too. Everybody wants a Minahu back, and see when he comes, how he looks when he comes back after injury.
I thought Cleveland Farrell was our best. I miss Cleveland Farrell.
Farrell.
I keep saying Omenihu. I think I said Omenihu. I keep thinking he's on the team.
Thank you. It was Farrell.
I think he has one more year with the Kansas City Chiefs, though.
I made the mistake too, Cargast.
Yep, no problem. But
all right, let's go ahead and talk about Clean Farrell. Are we going to re-sign him or what? Because that guy was a dog.
Resign. That's kind of a no-brainer to me, but
David?
He did kind of okay, but he really didn't do nothing either. Like the first couple games, he was a beast, but like I don't know what happened to him. He like dropped. So
Clean Farrell, and he was on a lot of those plays, and Steve Wilkes did talk highly about him during practice. He was always running, never jogging, and that type of stuff.
Yeah, great.
Bring him back. It was cheap.
Yeah, technically, he is cheap.
Oh yeah, bring him back.
Like McNiner said, team-friendly deals. But Jawan Jennings he's going to price out the market. Look what the Jags did with Christian Kirk. They sold out the bank to go and get him. I mean, teams are definitely.
I think Jennings want to be on this team because he been on this team for how many years? Like 4 or 5 years.
He wants the bag. He wants to go and get. Do you feel like?
I know he wants the bag, but the only chance to win the Super Bowl is the Niners. And he probably knows that too. Like we're the best NFC team, and he wants to win the ring. So it's like, if we go somewhere else, he's not gonna get that chance.
Yeah, that's true. But
all right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and let Brian talk for a few minutes. Brian, what do you think about bringing back basically Colin Farrell? In your opinion?
Yeah, I think he was one of the, that's the guy, we were getting hung up on. He was really good for the 49ers. He wasn't making the biggest noise, but he was solid. And when he went down, when did he go down? Was it in the Rams game, or did he go down in the Washington Commanders game? I can't remember.
I think it was the Rams game.
Did we lose him in the Ravens game? When we lost him, that was.
I think it was the Ravens game.
Oh my gosh.
Ravens game Christmas.
Because I think they said, we got out of it unscathed, everything except one player, and it was Cleveland Farrell or something. And we might have him back before the playoffs, they said. And then they found out it was worse than they knew. And I'd bring him back. I think he's probably. Let me look real quick. It says. Chase Young, Gibson, Feliciano, Kinlaw, Darnold, Burks, Farrell, Gregory, Givens, Sebastian Joseph Day, Barch, Ben Barch, Dwelly, tight end Charlie Warner. The only one I'd bring back is Farrell. That's the only one I'd bring back. If the other ones want to come back, then they're going to come back at a cheap, team-friendly deal. Everybody else, they can leave. The Niners, they drafted 2 tight ends last year, Ross Dwelly and Charlie Warner. Where were they at in this Super Bowl? Where were they at? They weren't anywhere. I think
they're gone too.
I think they're gone. Sam Darnold, let him go. He wants to go play for another team. What team? Okay. So again, nobody likes him here in the Bay Area. I joke around and say Sam area to get people to laugh, but no, let him go. And the only other person is what we need this year is we need O lineman and interior D line. That's what we need. And maybe another DN, somebody who's really good on the end, because Drake Jackson, we drafted him, but he's either been injured or he come in underweight. I mean, how do you come in and you're not? We drafted you and we knew you weren't not athletic. You needed to hit the weights. You needed to bulk up in the weight room. That's a mistake on the 49ers to draft somebody like that. That's a mistake to draft somebody who's not ready. And this team keeps on getting away with redshirting players and saying, "Oh, we're gonna sit them on the bench for a year and let them." We're not growing flowers here. We're not letting them bloom. No, this is the time where they should be ready. We don't have the liberties like they did in the 90s and the 80s where you can draft a quarterback and let them sit for 4 years. We're not the Green Bay Packers. We don't do that over here either. And, the Green Bay Packers have had a good plan to be able to do that, to go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. And they've gotten lucky with it. Not every organization gets lucky like that. And you got to look at it too. The Niners, every time we get to a Super Bowl and something bad happens, we fire our head coach. So you got to kind of, think, is this what we're going to do? And everybody's going to start yelling, fire Kyle Shanahan because we had an offensive lineman who made the wrong play call or blocking assignment. Was it the wrong play call? I don't know. I know Ayuk was open in the end zone. And we had
Jennings was wide open.
But because that rush got to him too fast, he wasn't able to deliver. And again, whose fault is that? I don't know. I mean, do we keep these guys for another year and everybody stays together so that they can repeat the same mistake? Or do we get somebody new and then they make their own mistake? I don't know. It's the same mistake.
I think you keep the same guys in the group.
I think if we're gonna bring back guys on cheap like David Corona said, if they want to win a Super Bowl, this is the team to make a run. They want to be back on cheap, like a Chase Young or like a Cleveland Farrell. But if the NFL is a business, if the players want the bag and they want to go get their money and play for a different team, that's up to them.
If you look at depending on what website you go to, 19 or 21 potential free agents, right? If you go to that website and you look at it or that list, those aren't starters. And those are guys that if they are starting, we can replace with another veteran or we can get someone to take that position. Our core is here. We have 2 good wide receivers. If we sign Jennings again, boom, great. I imagine he would come if we give him a respectable offer. But as far as everybody else, we're okay. We're okay. This team's got their core players. We need maybe another linebacker, but we drafted 2 last year, so if they've been blossoming and growing and blooming like we want them to, right? Like the 49ers try to nurture their rookies. And I mean, like, this is football. Let's not baby these guys. They need to get in and have some playing time, right? I mean, you have to be on the field to make mistakes and learn from your mistakes, right? And if practice time isn't regular standard practice time isn't what it used to be, and they're not getting the reps on the practice field, then when are they really learning how to play? Are they playing with their PlayStation? Is that how they're learning how to play football? I mean, I don't get it. So I'm not a coach, and I'm not there at the training camp to see that either. But I do believe we got a good shot, and maybe 2 or 3 guys out of that 19 or 21 guys we retain. Everybody else, guys. I mean, we're not getting rid of Debo. Kittle's not going anywhere. I mean, Juice, he'll stick around. We got Trent Williams coming back for another year, unless he really is like, I don't know. But think about how much money he's going to make. He's coming back for another season. And we are this close to getting it done this year. And what did Kyle say last year? If we had a healthy quarterback, we would have made it to the Super Bowl. We probably would have won it. Well, we got to the Super Bowl. So now, if we stay healthy, we're going to get back to the Super Bowl, and we will win it.
We can't French tag Jennings.
Franchise tag him. If you franchise tag a player, then you have to pay them. It's like divided. It's added up and then divided by 3. The highest paid player position out of that. So, do we want to pay Jennings the highest of any wide receiver?
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
I think we'd want to try to get him on a cheaper, friendly deal.
Yeah, exactly.
For years.
And since we did bring that up, are we going to be able to do a contract with basically BA or is he leaving us?
That's up to his feelings, because apparently his brother said something on Twitter, that this is how he's feeling. But that happens the night before, 24 hours.
I heard that about Debo. I heard that about Debo too. 2 years ago, he never got traded.
No.
Yep.
But he got paid. Yeah. Then he stopped trying, right? Then he came in overweight, and so maybe the rule or the story to this is don't pay BA too late and don't pay him too early because you don't want him to cry too early and you don't want him to overeat and come in overweight.
Right?
Yes.
You imagine that an out of shape BA, that guy's already skinny. So it's like,
yeah.
And do you guys want to see John Feliciano back on our line for next year?
I would like to, but
David,
who do we got? Burford.
Yeah.
Burford is very inexperienced, but
BC, what do you think?
He was a good player for us. He seemed to have some rotation time this season, and then I don't know if he was the one who got hurt and if he didn't come back in. But
that was him that got hurt.
He was doing good, and I don't know. Maybe that's the reason we got away from running the ball. I don't know if it was him, but I think this year we need to get a guard. We need a right guard, a right tackle, and a center. David McNair, Ty Alston, they have also that's what they're thinking. Develop that line, and sooner or later you will have to get a left tackle. But if we got Trent for another year, maybe we can get that the following year, or we can maybe look in free agency for his replacement. But we definitely got to get we got to replace. We got to update
the interior offensive line.
I think we have 2 backup linemen on practice squad that we did undrafted rookies.
Do we still have that Alfredo Gutierrez guy? Is he gone?
Yeah, but he's like a foreign exchange student. They won't play him because we're getting like food stamps for him or something. It's weird. It's like the Niners are getting charity. Yeah, we're getting like a charity draft pick. He's getting a job. It's really weird. I don't understand why you have these players from different leagues, different countries, if we're not going to have them actually play a game. He didn't even play in the Mexico game. He didn't even suit up in the Mexico game. That's where I'm like, this is he should have been at least suited up, right? In front of your own crowd and stuff. But nope.
Exactly. I don't get it. That's what this team does, man. They bring all these, I don't know, man. We bring all these guys in. We don't even use them. But
I'd bring him back if we could sign him for a cheap price, a relatively team-friendly price. And I think all these guys really would come back to the Niners at that price. But it's at the point is when you're looking at our options out there, can we find someone who is a upgrade at a cheaper price? And are they going to be younger? And, because you have to look at all those. Are we getting somebody younger who's better or can be better? Or are we getting somebody who's older who's playing better now? And how long are they going to play better? Because if we start changing out these pieces, then we do a small retool.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to look at the new timeline of these players. Now, the core right now, we know the core window is here for 2-3 years potentially, right? This is like how long our contracts for everybody, our Brock Purdy contract is. But when we start switching out these other players and we start looking at unless we're getting them for 1-year deals, and that's the whole thing too. You get them for a 1-year deal, you only have that. That's your time slot. Then you got to restart over. And sooner or later, once you restarted so many times, you're not the same team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because every single year it's just refresh with some people.
So you got to look at it. And the question, I guess, is can we get it done with this group of guys, this core of guys, or do we need to, let some of these guys go so we can get draft capital?
I think we can get it done, man. Just Kyle Shanahan freaking freezes up in the biggest moments.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he even froze up. Maybe he had the right call right there.
Well, he got away from the run game, and then it's like he doesn't dress the off. Like there's just so many things that.
But let's look at that. Why again did he get away from the run game? Was it because we lost Feliciano? Was CMC hurt at that moment? Was he seeing the one thing I criticize or I would question is why didn't you have somebody else in the backfield to mimic a run instead of going, because you can still have shotgun and have a guy on the side of you, and then you can give it to him and he can run, or you can throw it to him and get out of. He can block.
Well, at the same time, whatever happened to all the jet sweeps and the end arounds we were doing at the beginning of the season? Why are we just going all out? All out.
Was Debo's injury real and more of an injury than we really thought, because he went down early, and then when he came in,
he did.
It looked like he was just playing decoy. He didn't look like he was Debo.
Mm-hmm.
Because but what I'm getting at is you can't blame some of that stuff. The injuries you can't blame on Kyle. I don't want to defend Kyle for everything, but at the end of the game, he might have had the right call, but it looked like some of our players ran the wrong assignment. And is that because we had Feliciano out? Is that because they didn't know what the call was, or they weren't?
I think Burford and McKivitz had some miscommunication because Burford stepped in.
If he could have had one more second or a tenth of a second, he could have hit Ayuk or Jennings. And I feel bad for Brock Purdy because he sat there and he did. You've seen him say sorry to everybody, and he's probably going to think he cost, and he probably does believe he cost the Niners the Super Bowl, and that's not true. That's not true. The Niners, there's not one person you can blame for this Super Bowl. They fought all the way through it. That's why
I think Brock Purdy did a hell of a job in the second year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Conley and the special teams, man? Conley, that dude's a dog. You kidding?
No, he got in there. And did you know he played for Kansas City as well?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's crazy. And shout out Mitch Wisnowski for having a couple of pinbacks. That was nice. Underrated punter.
And what about Jair Brown picking off Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl?
His second time against Mahomes in his career. Amazing.
I think
that's awesome.
But we didn't do nothing with it. We didn't get no points out of it.
No, and that's why we were trying to get at is we didn't run the ball, and we were trying to figure out, was CMC at that point hurt? Was it an offensive line issue because we weren't running the ball? There was something we know we could address why Debo wasn't maybe getting the end rounds. So it's got to be there had to be a reason that third quarter we went 3 and out because there was an issue there, and maybe it was bad play calling, but I think it was bad. There was just some bad moments. If he would have hit Debo for that one pass, we could have kept it going. Conley made a good catch. So things were happening, it just wasn't happening at the moments we wanted it to. And then on top of it, the muff fumble. It wasn't a muff punt, but it hit our player, and we couldn't get on top of it. Yeah, we couldn't recover fast enough. So that gave them a free, easy touchdown. Nothing's free, but that gave them a lot of yards, and they had momentum right then. So,
but Ray should have picked that ball up. He had a chance to pick it up, but the ball, I don't know what happened, but the ball was like on the other side, and he couldn't get the ball.
Yeah, I don't think it was entirely on Ray because he was trying to call out alert or whatever. He was trying to let other people, but he should have focused on just recovering the ball. Even if we would have punted and went 3 and out right there, they would have had to come to the field, the distance of the field. So, just too much easy yardage for him right there. That was the shifting of the game, I think.
And that's the main question is what ifs. And if it's going to be what ifs, that's all we can do. We can just guess what could have happened, but what we saw is what we saw too.
Oh,
got there, got close, got real close.
Oh yeah, and we only lost by 3 points. That's better than being shut out.
Instead of losing by 11 last time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did a hell of a job, man. But there's too many injuries. Like a lot of key players got hurt, and that's just what happens. I think that's what happened.
All right. What was your guys' best plays that you saw in the game during the Super Bowl? Best plays. Brian, why don't you go ahead and start us out?
Best play in the Super Bowl for both teams.
Yeah.
The Niners, when they had Jennings throw the ball to CMC, the reverse pass,
Mm-hmm.
that was our best play, I think, or maybe one of the more exciting plays. Then with the Chiefs, when they had that one big pass, for when we kind of stopped running, that was one of their bigger moments of the game. Patrick Mahomes, scrambling for the first down in overtime, that was big play for them. He did that twice in the game. So both of those plays were huge for him. I was really excited for the 55. I think it was a 55-yarder in the Super Bowl by Jake Moody. I think that was really cool. But then Butker comes and breaks it just a couple minutes later.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But I don't know. I mean, it was a good game overall. I don't know. I just wish we would have got that stop at the end. A defensive stop or. But I'm excited to see what happens. Now it's time to just take a deep breath and then hang out with the family for a minute and start looking into what players are coming, because there's going to be a lot of
trade and drafts.
Yep. Get the draft simulator out and start seeing what's going on there and see what players may be coming. But again, it depends on what players leave. And then we kind of know what they already know what players they're going after. They knew it before the Super Bowl was over.
David McNider had a good one. Ray's pancake.
Right.
And David, what was your favorite place that you saw, or is it about the same as BC's?
Yeah, about the same.
Cardcast, what about you? I think he's doing something. Mine would be about the same too, and because there was, for me, ups and downs, mixed emotions, basically. And definitely great game. And it was just crazy at the end. All right. What was your guys' favorite thing during the halftime show or the commercials?
I like the new Volkswagen commercial. I like the new Volkswagen bus. I want to look at that a little bit in person. I'm interested in that. But other than that, all the other commercials, I mean, there's that one commercial where they drop their pants or something like that. I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah, he didn't have no pants on?
Ugh.
I thought the Super Bowl commercials this year was kind of bad.
Yep.
Bring back the frogs, like the Budweiser frogs and the horses kicking the field goals and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know, but
yeah, I didn't like the commercials either.
Did you guys see the one where they did the NFL birds flying away? I got a little chuckle out of that one.
I like the last song what Usher did with Little John, Ludacris. That was my favorite song.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, it'll be fun. We'll see what happens. I don't like how people are changing the narrative of the whole overtime rules, and they should have done this, they should have done that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. We really don't know. If the Chiefs would have went out there and scored a touchdown the first time, and we go down, and we don't, game's over, right? If we go down and score a touchdown, they go down and score a touchdown, then they go for 2 points because we didn't go for 2 points. You know what I mean? Like,
But
you
yeah,
can't.
when they hiked the ball, they only had like 6 seconds left, and they hiked the ball fast, so our players didn't get set up quick. So that's what they got us. They hiked the ball too soon.
I don't know. I mean, there was 2 times we called timeout for our players, and then it seemed like we had the momentum, and then after that, their defense was set up, ready to go after us. They had the right call. So I am interested to see if we stick with the same defensive coordinator. I don't know if that's the best decision to move off of. I don't think he did anything wrong. I really don't. I don't. But again, it would be nice to stop mobile quarterbacks, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think Still Works will come back. I think he come back.
It's just really upsetting. We can't stop a quarterback on 4th and 1.
So right now for the draft, we have 1 first-round pick, 1 second-round pick,
We have
2
11
third-round.
11
Yeah.
picks.
We have 2 third-round picks. One's a comp, and one is we own it. 2 fourth-round picks, and one's from the Cowboys. We have 2 comp picks for number 5s, and we got 2 of those. And we got a number 6 comp,
Okay.
and we have 2 7s, and one of them was a trade with the Broncos.
My favorite part of the No, but that last song was fire. What's it called? Yeah, by Usher. That was kind of fire.
Yeah, same thing, McKnight. Me too.
My favorite part of halftime was watching my wife sing the songs and dance. That was the part.
Yeah.
Her and the other 2 ladies that were here, they knew the words and they were enjoying it. And I just says like, okay, well, this could get into any time, but when you see someone having true fun, you don't want to just never again. So that to Tony, and yeah,
It was karaoke. It was karaoke time.
That's right. That's right.
Here's my door real quick.
John, I'm gonna jump out. I'm gonna
okay, bud.
Lunch. Thanks for having me on.
Everybody, you're welcome for hopping and joining in today. So that made the show a little bit fun too.
Awesome. Well, you guys have a great day.
I'll talk to you soon, man.
Yeah, we'll be talking soon. Go Niners.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Let's go Niners.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions right now? Like something that pops in your head, what you guys think, you can ask any questions and that type of stuff too.
I can't think of nothing right now.
Carcass, what about you?
Sorry, are you there?
Okay. Yeah.
Do you have any questions that you want to answer? Brian Cope has already left the podcast right now, and
I just want to address David McDiner's comment.
What one?
Ray McLeod.
Oh, all right. Let me pull it up for you. All right, go ahead.
Ray panicked and tried to pick it up and run. And run with it. Should have fell on it. It hit Daryl Luter. Yeah. it was not really Ray Ray's fault, but at the same time, it was in your vicinity. You have to fall on top of it. I completely agree. It's not like it was like a couple feet away from you where there are other Chiefs defenders trying to hurry to go and get the football. So I agree, Ray Ray. That was a very key point in the game. I believe that was the same drive where the Chiefs got the ball and they drove down the field, and they didn't really drive because they were almost in the red zone already. But it was a touchdown pass. I mean, I don't know what happened on the touchdown pass. We left that guy wide open.
Number 11.
Yeah, Marquez, whatever his name is.
Yeah, him.
We left him wide open, and Gibson was the nearest. I don't know what happened on the back end. Maybe there was some kind of miscommunication, but I agree. Yeah, a lot of miscues in this game, man. But it is what it is. But yes, Ray, you gotta fall on top of it, man. And Ray has had some of his own issues this season. He's had a handful of stuff he's got to work on, but yeah, I just want to address that because that was a very big turning point in the game, from what I saw. So yeah,
that's when they tied the game up, huh?
No, that's when they got the lead on us.
Oh, the lead.
Oh, 16, the lead.
16-13 because they missed extra. Did they miss extra point?
No, they made it.
We had our point knocked down.
What was the score going into halftime then?
10-3, 49ers.
Yeah.
Yep, and that was their first lead of the game when they scored that touchdown. But yeah.
Oh yeah, because it was 10-6, and they scored. Yeah, 13-10.
So, what was that? You was breaking up on my end.
13-10.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
so, CarCast, what are you going to be doing on your show? Since it's basically a bye week for us.
On my podcast?
Yeah.
I might do a show today. I'm trying to get a Kansas City Chiefs fan on. Maybe we could recap the game, what exactly happened and all that good stuff. But
nice.
But I'll keep everyone updated on my community page as always. So make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I go live. But other than that, John, I appreciate you for having me on as always. It's always a pleasure.
No problem.
An honor coming on your show. You have great topics lined up. Great talking with Corona as always. John, Brian. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, go Niners. We'll see what next year can bring, man. Maybe better luck, but we'll see.
And David, do you got any plans what you're going to be doing for 6 months being no football talk? Is it different sports? Are you going to jump on other people's podcasts?
I'm looking for baseball now for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Dodgers.
You know it. That too, and I'm just waiting for my surgery, and that's about it, man.
And for me, I'm going to take 3 weeks off, start back up on, let me pull up my calendar. So, because I got it saved in my calendar when to pop back on, because I'll be popping back on doing my Tuesday shows on March the 5th, and we'll be talking about drafts and trades and that type of stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that will be basically I'm planning of changing that time to like 6 o'clock. Then Fridays will probably be later in the day. Time, I don't know yet, but the panel will already know what time before it gets posted.
Yep.
And I'll still do like a Saturday show for basically for like the younger kids if they want to hop on and that type of stuff, so they can be in the podcast a little bit, like Spongy and that type of stuff. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and play the brand new intro that I made. So and this will be the newest intro for my podcast and that type of stuff.
Subscribe to Daddy. What else? Thanks.
Maybe the next time we hop on, maybe we could talk about the schedule.
So thank you 49ers for doing your great season this year. Let's stay strong. Let's do better next year. Let's fix our issues. Let's go 49ers, and let's just keep cheering for our team.
Yeah, let's go Niners.
What about you?
Oh, go ahead, Carcass.
Right on, man. Completely agree, 100%. Let's fix our flaws a little bit. Let's get everything taped up. No injuries. I believe Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are gonna have their end of season press conference at 4:00. So I believe that's 1:00 your guys' time. So they're gonna having a press conference recapping the season. So shout out to all the players, the coaching staff, the medical team, the conditioning, the assistant coaches, everybody for just putting together a great season, even though we couldn't get it done. Great job all around. Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way, and that's the reality of life in the NFL. So you just gotta expect it sometimes. So it is what it is, but it's a bang bang Niner gang all day, every day, and let's go Niners. That's about
David?
it for me.
Yeah, same thing. Thank you for having me. Let's go.
Thanks for having me.
Let's go Niners, and like Corey said, F all 31 teams, and like what me and McNiner says, F those lamb chops. You know how we do it, me and McNiner, and let's see what we have to do to go over that hump and win it this time. And I'll always be a Niner fan to the day I die. And then and let's go Niners. See we could go back to the Super Bowl. Maybe play the same team again, Chiefs. And then let's see what they got to do to change the team up or keep the same guys together or or whatever they had to do. And then,
Right.
yeah, let's go, man. Let's go Niners.
Go Niners.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out, guys.
Life.
Have a good late. Yep. Go Niners.